Hi everybody, welcome back to Cat's Book Nook. Today is December 1st and this is going to be my monthly wrap-up video. Since I've talked about a lot of these books in my weekly wrap-up videos, I will link those in the description box below so you guys can go check out what I've said about these books a little bit more in depth. When I first did this a few minutes ago, it ended up being close to 15-20 minutes. I've got 23 books to get through and not a lot of I don't want you to have to listen to me talk about all of them. So, this month, like I just said, I got through 23 books. 10 physical books, 13 audiobooks, 2 3-star books, 2 3-star books, 12 4-star books, and 9 5-star books. Outside of those, let me turn this way a little bit. Yay, there we go. Now you guys can see my lovely board games in the back. Outside of those 23 books, I did end up returning 6. 3 of those were did not finish books, and 3 were just returned unread. And with that, let me tell you guys, let me start with what I did not finish. So I did not finish The Passage, could not. The first half was awesome, the second half sucked. America, he keeps going back and forth between, he being the author, Ethan Kanan, goes back and forth between past and present fairly, rapidly without very much break in between. Sorry, moving chairs for the light. I just, politically, right now, that is not the book for me. I have things to say on that, but not going to go into it. Then I got 12 pages into Storm of the Century and did not finish it and returned it. Just go watch the movie. It's the same thing. Just go watch the movie. Other books that I returned unread: Girl on the Train, Eat, Pray, Love, and Songs of Willow Frost. Songs of Willow Frost I borrowed from the library, and I used up all of my renews on that, so I couldn't renew it anymore, so I just returned it. And there's that. So, I'm gonna do finished series, and then, yeah. So, I finished 5 different series this month. The first series I want to talk about is the entire Hitchhikers Guide to the Galaxy series. The first 2 books, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is the introduction into the series, and then Restaurant at the End of the Universe were 4-star reads. I wanted to... Book 2, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, made me actually want to continue the series. So I did. Book 3, The Life, the Universe, and Everything, not the best book. It was one of the 3 stars. So you go from 2 4-star books in the series to a 3-star book, back to a 4-star book with So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, because I actually cared about that story. I actually wanted to listen to what happened to Arthur. Yeah, Arthur and his new friend, and I liked it, and I enjoyed it. And then you go back to a 3-star read with Mostly Harmless, and it sucked. I hated the ending. It was not the best ending. And the entire thing was orchestrated by the chronicler, who ended up being Vogon. He wasn't even human. He was Vogon. And while it wasn't a bad read overall, the entire series was good. Mostly. It had its meh moments. It had its what did I just read moments. But overall, it wasn't a bad series. The next series that I finished was Beautiful Redemption, by the Beautiful Creature series by Garcia and Margaret Stohl. I finished Beautiful Redemption. I just said that. It was better than what I remember it being, and I'm glad I finished the series. So that series is done. I also finished the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer. I finished Winter early in the month. I guess what I didn't particularly care about for that book was that even though all the characters go through things and go through some horrendous ordeals in this book, they all live. None of them have to deal with any heartbreak of death. And it was, that's the only thing that kept it from being a, no, I did mark it a 5-star. Okay, so there you go. Another series that I finished this month was the Mercy Falls series, the Wolves of Mercy Falls series. There is a companion novel that I'm not entirely sure if I want to pick up. I liked the Cole and Isabella aspect more than I liked Sam and Grace, so I might pick that up, but not till next year. Then I finished the Diviners series for right now. The 4th book I think is supposed to come out next year or 2019. Book 2, 5-star read, Lair of Dreams, and then book 3, Before the Devil Breaks You. Holy cow. There was so much stuff in book 3 that came out, and I loved book 3 because it wasn't that, oh, well, everybody makes it to the end book. It was, there are deaths. There are people that you want to die in book 2 that redeem themselves in book 3, and there are people that die in book 3 that are, you weren't really expecting it. But they weren't senseless deaths. They were deaths that were there to help move the story along. And that was what made it awesome. Sorry, the light just keeps... So, those are the series that I finished this month. Series that I started this month, I did Paper Girls by Brian Vaughan, who writes Saga. I started Monstrous by Marjorie Liu as a graphic novel. Both of those sets were 4-star reads. I started the Mercy Thompson series with Mooncalled and Bloodbound. Mooncalled was a 5-star, Bloodbound was a 4. Started the Odd Thomas series by Dean Koontz. I'm not entirely sure, like, I've seen the movie of that, and I think that's why I wanted to read the book. It wasn't really, it was meh. But that was a 4, I gave that 4-star reads. 4 stars. The Bear and the Nightingale. That book by Katherine Arden, fantastic. It Uprooted was a really good Russian retelling story thing. We'll go thing on that one. Bear and the Nightingale was better. And I say it was better just because I think it's a more recent read for me. But holy cow, the things that this kid goes through, and while there isn't a necessarily like hardcore, they're going to end up together relationship like there was at the end of Uprooted, I can't wait to read The Girl in the Tower, which comes out on December 6th, so next week. It comes out next week. Yay! I might have to actually go to the bookstore for that one. That was, I think that's all the series that I started. Oh, Anti-Goddess by Kendara Blake. Audiobook, 4 stars. Didn't particularly care for it. Like, the first half left me being like, do I really want to finish this book? And then the second half was, holy cow, I am so glad I finished this book. And then standalones. So the standalones that I got to listen to this month were You're Never Weird on the Internet by Felicia Day. If you've watched The Guild or watched anything that Felicia has been in, you'll know that she is this quirky, just, yeah. She was great. She read her book, and it's a book about her life and how she goes through the Guild and everything that comes along with it, and how the Guild actually just wasn't even the main focus of the book and isn't what she's known for the most. I think that's the way it went. But it was awesome. And then another standalone book that I got to was The Sleeper and the Spindle by Neil Gaiman. It was an hour-long audiobook. It was a really interesting take on Sleeping Beauty and how instead of a prince, it's Snow White that saves her. No, there is not a romance to this. No, it is the twist that when we're growing up, never really would have expected it to be who it was in that story. And it ended up being just the unexpected person. So that was a 5-star read. And then Love and Other Consolation Prizes by Jamie Ford was the other 5-star read this month. It goes back and forth between 1909 and 1963, the World's Fair in Seattle. It was very interesting and heartbreaking to read. Just because he takes his characters in so many different directions, not so many different directions. He takes them in one direction, but the way he tells the story is just very interestingly heartbreaking. Because halfway through the story, I think he's with one chick, and then he actually ends up with the other person. So, it was a good read. And I think that's it. So, with that, thank you guys for watching this all the way through. I apologize for having to move. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day, a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you guys on Sunday with my weekly wrap-up video.